Lights up on Matthew, who is in the kitchen, preparing dinner. Holly comes in with a bag of cucumbers and places them on the table. Matthew cringes.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Why'd you buy so many cucumbers? We can't possibly eat all of those before they go bad.
I bought them from a roadside produce stand. They're nice and fresh, plus they're good for you.
Matthew sighs.
Is there a problem?
You always buy things without thinking about how we'll use them, and now we're stuck with a bunch of cucumbers.
Yeah, I guess I gotta get a little carried away, but hey, we can make cucumber salad, cucumber sandwiches, cucumber water.
Cucumber water? Are you serious? It's not even a thing.
It is. It's refreshing and healthy. And don't forget about pickles. We can make our own.
Pickles. You know I hate pickles, and you always make such a mess in the kitchen when you try to pickle things.
I'll clean up, I promise. But seriously, why do you hate pickles so much? They're just cucumbers soaked in vinegar.
I know, but I just can't stand the smell. And speaking of smells, what about all that garlic you bought with those cucumbers? Why do we need so much garlic?
I want to try making homemade tzatziki sauce. It's great with cucumbers.
Tzatziki sauce? You can barely make scrambled eggs without burning them. How are you going to make something so fancy?
I can follow a recipe. I'll chop the garlic out on the patio if the smell bothers you that much.
Fine. You're in charge of dealing with all these cucumbers. I'm not cutting, peeling, or pickling a single one.
Deal.
Holly, can we just skip the cucumber for dinner tonight? I don't even like them.
You don't like cucumbers? Since when? I've known you since middle school, and suddenly you don't like cucumbers?
Have you ever seen me eat one? I don't see the point in buying them if you're the only one who eats them.
And I don't see the point in buying your favorite cookies every week, but I do it anyway.
That's different. Cookies are a good snack, but cucumbers are it's just like a weird vegetable.
Weird. Have you ever tried cucumber sandwiches? They're delicious, and they're perfect for a light lunch.
I'll stick to my regular turkey sandwiches. Thank you very much.
Oops, we're out of turkey. Do you want me to run to the store real quick and get some?
No, you don't have to do that. We've got other stuff to make dinner with. Forget it.
Holly nods. Both begin preparing dinner. Holly hums a cheery tune while they work together.
What?
I can't concentrate when you're humming like that.
Sorry.
Holly gets quiet as tension builds. Matthew breaks the silence.
Can you please move over?
What?
I can't work with you when you're too close.
Oh,
Move over.
I did.
Move over more.
I can't.
If you can't stop humming, at least move over.
If I move any further, I'll be thrown out the door.
You have a whole arm's length.
If you haven't noticed, this is all the counter space we have. So this is not the space you're going to get. Don't be grumpy.
Matthew sighs.
I'm not being grumpy.
You're yelling.
I'm not yelling. I'm not yelling.
Okay, Matthew, you're not yelling.
They go back to making dinner quietly, but the tension builds. By accident, Holly knocks a bag of cucumbers onto the floor.
It's raining cucumbers.
It appears so.
Are you going to pick those up?
I don't know. Am I allowed to?
What?
Everything has to be your way, so I'm asking.
Huh?
The cucumbers, the sandwiches, the cooking, the humming, the counter space, buying things from the produce stand, the cucumbers.
Stop it.
Stop what?
Stop saying cucumbers.
What's the big deal with cucumbers?
Matthew has a panic attack.
Hey, Matthew, take it easy.
Holly comforts Matthew, and he calms down.
Are you okay now? I won't talk about cucumbers anymore.
Look, Holly, it's more than that.
What's going on here, Matthew?
It's stupid.
It's okay. I'm listening.
It's a long story.
Well, we have time.
Matthew hesitates, then takes a deep breath.
I have a phobia of cucumbers.
What? Since when?
You don't know this because we were in different classes, but I was bullied when we were in middle school, mostly because of cucumbers.
Cucumbers?
Yeah, it was stupid. I was called Cucumber Boy because I smelled like cucumbers when it was harvest time at the farm. One kid used to make fun of me and chase me around with them. He'd throw them at me and stuff rotten ones into my backpack. I was always trying to get away from him.
I know.
What?
I said I know. I saw what was going on.
But I thought I was alone.
You weren't. I wanted you to hang out with me and my friends, but you were always so worried about what those other kids thought that I could never get your attention. It wasn't until much later that you figured out who your real friends were.
But you were there for me?
Yes, and I always will be.
Both share a smile. Matthew lets out a shaky breath.
Are you still afraid of cucumbers?
Look, I know cucumbers are a harmless vegetable. Those kids weren't. It's hard to forget.
It might be hard to forget, but you can forgive. I know it was painful, but that trial made you think about who your real friends were. If you had never been bullied, we may never have met.
Wow. I never thought about it like that. I guess I'm just an idiot who freaks out about stupid things.
Yeah, you're an idiot, but so am I. I've just had just as many struggles as you, but we can work on them together. Deal?
Deal.
I love you.
I love you too.
Matthew and Holly embrace. After a few minutes, Matthew breaks away from the hug. In the process, he kicks a cucumber and it rolls across the floor.
Oh, look, it's raining cucumbers again. Shall we pick them up?
Sure, but I have a better idea. Let's slice one up and eat it with dinner.
Oh, yeah, I thought you hated cucumbers.
Well, a wise person once told me that the bad things in life might just be the things that shape our life for the better.
I wonder who that wise person is.
Both share a laugh and hug each other.
Thrill of the Circus by Rex McGregor. The setting is a big top circus tent.
Trapeze platform secure. Good work, team. Take a break.
Oh, wow.
We aren't open yet.
Oh, well, it looks much bigger on the inside.
Yeah, all part of the magic.
Must be an optical illusion.
Come back tonight at 7.
I work for Parks and Recreation.
We have a permit. All the paperwork's in order.
I'm not in licensing.
Oh, that's a relief. Some towns make us jump through hoops.
Oh, sorry to hear that, ma'am.
Call me Angelica. And this is Pixie. Isn't she a cutie?
She sure is. Hey there, girl.
You like dogs.
I absolutely adore dogs. They're my one weakness.
Always a good sign.
Are you the manager?
And ringmaster and standby clown.
I'm Eli, safety officer and risk management specialist.
Oh, a fellow multitasker.
I have one job, keeping people safe.
We're fully compliant in all areas. Go ahead and inspect us.
Oh, I don't have time for that today.
What a pity.
The National Weather Service has issued a severe wind warning.
Wrap up well.
You need to dismantle this structure.
It's engineered to withstand strong winds.
Gale force?
The forecast doesn't mention the Beaufort scale.
It says severe.
A word so vague it can mean anything from gusty to stormy.
Or a hurricane.
I'll cut you a deal. The moment they say hurricane, we'll pull down the tent and hightail it out of here.
I don't take bribes. I'm shutting you down.
Give me a break.
Public safety comes first.
We often perform in high winds. The roar of the canvas flexing, customers love it.
Those towns need to beef up their enforcement.
No one's ever been hurt.
Wrong. There have been several fatalities from big tops collapsing.
Not this beauty. She's state of the art.
You've been lucky, but I refuse to gamble with human lives. Or canine ones.
Falling branches kill dozens of people every year. Would you chop down every tree?
I believe in a proportionate response.
That's all I'm asking. Let's wait for more clarity from the weather gurus.
Their message is clear to me. Severe means a danger to lives and property. And animals.
Your severity's the biggest threat to my business. Tonight's show's nearly sold out.
Was. It's cancelled now.
We'd have to refund every cent.
You must have insurance.
For extreme weather, the company won't pay out for blustery squalls.
Tell them I shut you down.
They might dispute your call.
Why? I'm honest.
They aren't. Their mission is declining claims if they can get away with it.
You're being unfair.
Oh, if only I was. If only all assessors had an ounce of your integrity.
Buttering me up won't work.
Guess I'll have to rely on your compassion.
There you go again.
Don't throw me to the sharks, Eli.
I'm only doing my job.
You're an expert, are you? At assessing risk?
I'm highly trained.
Calculate it, analyze it. But have you ever experienced it?
What do you mean?
Deep in your gut, Eli, the searing anguish of a life or death choice. You ever felt that?
I avoid such situations.
Would you trust a swimming teacher who's scared of water?
Hold on.
Trapeze artists risk their lives every day.
Well, they've got that net.
Oh, even with rigorous protocols and the utmost care, accidents happen. Death happens.
You need a safer net.
No one's died here so far, but every performer knows any show could be their last.
Oh, maybe I should recommend a complete ban on aerial acrobatics.
You should have a go.
What?
Dive into the net from up there.
You've lost it.
Diving's too much to ask. Just step off the platform and drop down.
Never in a million years.
How about falling? You won't have to do anything. I'll push you.
Excuse me? I need to check the weather report.
This is a phone-free zone.
You're making that up.
No. We ask all customers to respect flyers who risk everything for their entertainment.
Well, there's no one flying now.
They start rehearsing in an hour. Stay and watch.
Why?
So you can at least experience the thrill vicariously, gaping with your heart in your mouth.
I'd sooner keep my heart in my chest, thank you.
Are you that much of a coward?
I was kidding. I'm happy to observe from an audience seat.
Cool.
If they're ready to perform now, I'm due back in the office in 15 minutes.
Artistes have a schedule. They can't just drop everything for you.
When they're up there, I hope they won't drop anything. Or anyone.
Get into costume and warm up.
Sorry, I have a meeting.
Okay, last option. Will you climb up that low ladder and crawl into the net?
For what possible reason?
If you bounce around for even half a minute, you'll feel something.
Oh, enough. Stop. Uh, Stop. And start dismantling the tent right now, or I'll send a bulldozer in.
How can you be so heartless?
I'm protecting Pixie. Aren't I, sweetheart? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I
We
am.
are more terrified of the net than you are.
Dogs are amazingly intelligent.
Someone threw her in once as a joke. She couldn't get out, flailed around in a panic like a Titanic victim in the sea.
People are so cruel.
Sometimes we need to be. Poor Pixiekins. Time for a second dunking.
Stop. What are you doing?
Throwing her in the net so you'll clamber in after her.
No. Don't. Don't.
Don't be bad, Pixiekins. The nice man will rescue you. Here we
No.
go. One,
No.
two.
No, wait, Angelica. You can you can leave the tent as it is. The show can go on.
What
Oh.
about the wind?
We'll absorb the risk.
Magic. Why the change of heart?
Well, my heart's up here, in my mouth.
Relax. I can fix that. If you promise you won't renege.
I swear.
Pixie's a true circus pooch. She'd play all day in the net if we let her. Aren't you?
Oh.
That job interview, written by Tasmin Jahan. Tanner has arrived for his job interview. With nervousness, he approaches the stern-looking receptionist.
Good morning.
Yes?
I was told to come up and report to you 5 minutes beforehand. I'm here for my interview for the key administrator position.
With whom? What time?
Anna Carton, 10 o'clock.
We don't have anyone in this department called Anna Carton.
Really? I was told she was on this floor.
You have been misinformed. Have a nice day.
But I was told on the phone
Who
that
told you?
someone from your HR department.
I need a name.
Sorry, but I don't remember their name.
Didn't you write it down or tap it into your phone?
No, because I got the call when I was walking my dog.
That's not very helpful.
Sorry, I'm not really good with names.
You're creating a bad impression.
Ditto. You haven't checked my name yet.
Did you hear me ask for it?
My name is Turner Scholf.
Turner what?
Scholf. Scholf.
So, what can I do for you, Turner Scholf?
My interview is in about 5 minutes with Anna Carton. You're expecting me, so please let her know I'm here. Thank you.
Like I said, we don't have anyone here called Anna Carton. You must have the wrong department.
Is this 6 Palenco Road, 6th Tor Avenue?
It was when I last checked. Yes.
I was given this address over the phone and via email.
By whom?
Give me a second, I'll check my phone. Damn it, there's no signal. I think their first name was like Julia or Jenny.
I'm not employed to play games.
Or maybe it was Jackie.
I think we're done here. Please leave.
I can't leave.
Why not?
I have a job interview.
With whom?
I've told you already. This is ridiculous.
I agree. It is ridiculous. And once you've accepted this, please be on your way.
I need to talk to someone else.
Can't you read the sign over there? Report to leadership reception, please.
Of course I can. Honestly, it would be really helpful if I could speak to someone in HR right now.
You have to go through me first.
Why would I be standing here if I didn't have a job interview?
We're expecting the cleaners to come in any minute now. The second boardroom needs a deep, thorough cleaning.
I'm not a cleaner. I'm here for the key administrative position under Ann Carton's team leadership.
You're making me late for my coffee break.
I don't care about your coffee break. I just don't want to be late for my interview.
Please don't raise your voice at me.
Why are you complicating everything?
I'm not complicating anything.
Fine. So when will it finish?
What are you talking about now?
It says interview in progress on that door.
That's none of your business.
The reason I ask is because I know I'm up next. Can't I just walk over and sit next to the door?
Please step aside. Otherwise, I'll have to summon security.
I haven't done anything wrong.
I'll be the judge of that.
Are you normally this hospitable?
Every single day.
You're making me look like a fool.
I think you're doing that all by yourself.
I want to complain.
Why?
You're not listening to me.
I thought I was listening to you since you arrived.
Oh, look, that job interview just finished. That means I'm up next.
What's your name again?
My name is Turner Scholf.
How are you spelling your last name?
Sholf.
Right.
Well,
I've just emailed HR.
you could have done that earlier.
There was no need to do it earlier. I have specific guidelines to follow. Company policy.
How long will it take to get a response from HR?
They're usually pretty quick.
How long is quick?
Just be patient.
This is so unfair.
Ah, here we go. We have a response.
Finally.
You have a job interview for the key administrator's position under Anna Charlton's team leadership at 10 o'clock today. Is that right?
I've already told you that.
You said Anna Carton, not Anna Charlton. There is a difference. HR has also emailed to say, as you've arrived late and not reported exactly 5 minutes beforehand, you will need to email in to explain why you didn't follow that specific instruction as per your interview letter.
What?
And once HR receives your explanation, they may email you another interview date. That's if they haven't offered the position to someone else already. Does that make sense to you?
This is all your fault.
I was just doing my job. Now, on your way out, you'll need to push the green button on the right to release the door. Have a nice day.
Well done, guys. Well done. Well done.
That is awesome. Yeah.
Well done, guys. Well done, everyone, so far.
Enter. Hello, Father John.
Yes, I am Father
I
John.
Davia Tully.
Excellent. Come right in. Have a seat.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you could join us today. I appreciate you responding to the job interview that you saw there. I don't typically use Craigslist to get applicants, but this is an unusual situation. And of all the applicants we received, you were the one that was the most promising. So I appreciate you coming in.
I was intrigued by your Craigslist handle, Holy Guy.
Yes, well, I want to make sure I'm being transparent in my job listing to ensure that I'm getting only the ones that are properly suited for this unique position. If you don't mind, I'd like to give a little bit of background and context on exactly what you would be doing if you were to get the job.
I'll be getting the job. I have every confidence that I will. But go on, Father. I've
Well,
got a lot to say.
I appreciate that go-getter attitude. So this position is for an assistant at this church here, St. Teresa. We have a very tight community here. This congregation is a community, and it is my responsibility to protect that community. And I have become aware of a situation that has concerned me deeply. There is a teen girl in our community, which that may be a red flag to you already, but the situation
Oh,
specifically
yes.
is that this teenage girl, she's been talking back to her mother. She has not even been coming to church recently. I fear she may be becoming an atheist. And I fear that she is replacing her devotion to the Lord with an interest in boys, sexual
No.
interests. I probably need
No.
to underscore. Yes, yes. This has troubled me deeply as well, and I am concerned of how to handle this. My theory is that there may be an external demonic force that has latched onto her, corrupted her soul, and I am looking for an assistant to help in an exorcism to expunge this demon. So
Expunge.
that's the situation we're dealing with. I would love to hear a little bit about your background and if you've had any experience with this kind of thing.
Yes. Well, I didn't tell you this because I thought I wouldn't get in the door if I told you this up front, Father. I'm actually not Catholic. I was raised in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, which you would probably call the Mormons. However, I found that their approach to dealing with children and teenagers who disobey their parents, become atheists, join the LGBTQA thing, whatever that thing is. They're not harsh enough. They're not harsh enough. And you can't treat these children. All you can do is try to, as you say, cast the dark out, or well, I'll get to that later. So
But
I left the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and formed my own congregation called the Preferred. We're called the Preferred because God prefers me to lead the congregation, and he prefers my congregants above all others because they follow me, God's preferred leader. Okay, when the apocalypse comes and Jesus returns to earth to exact his wrath, I am going to be his second in command. Thank you. So, now, my
be that as it
experience.
may, do you have any experience with the situation? What do you think needs to be done for this girl? I
Okay,
really prefer to focus on that.
I'm getting there, Father.
All right.
Hold your horses. Okay. So now, the way I've dealt with children who are zombettes is a zombette. Okay, a zombette. Yeah, a zombette. Called zombettes because they usually take over teenage girls. Zombettes are zombie spirits that seep into the teenage girl through the eyes into her brain and slowly take the brain over. What leads to this? Well, the very things you talked about: disobedience to the parents, talking back, not accepting the Lord as their Lord, and sex. S-E-X. Sex. Okay. It's a horror. It's a horror, Father.
So what happens to them? I mean, what can be done? Is
Well, what I do, I put them in stress positions.
what
Yeah,
do you mean?
very similar to what the CIA does at their black sites when they're interrogating terrorists and using harsh interrogation techniques. Not torture, of course. We don't do that. But forcing them to stand in strained positions with their hands tied behind their back to chairs, and so that in such a way that the shoulders start to leave the sockets. We like that. Suspending them from the ceiling. I've actually been inspired by strict bondage porn sites, gotten great ideas from them, even though they're satanic and unholy. I find that you take what's useful and reject the rest. Starvation works, depriving them of water. Any wounds that develop as a result of what we're doing, I use hot peppers and hot pepper juice and put it in the wounds. Not only does it have a healing property, but it greatly increases the pain. So you need to inflict a great deal of pain because zombettes, they're almost impervious to it. So you really have to go to great extremes for them to feel even a little bit of pain. And it's pain, Father, pain that will cure them. And then, of course, if that doesn't, you have to kill them. I've done that too. I've got an excellent burial site in my backyard. Everything's completely hidden. No one suspects a thing. How's that sound? Do you think I'm experienced enough?
You certainly have experience in this. I am deeply dismayed that you are a heretic and not of the Catholic faith. However, your devotion to this is commendable. Your devotion to the Lord is commendable. And I think you have what it takes to see this through. For the sake of my community, I would like to offer you the job. I'm going to pass you an envelope. Within that envelope is the pay that I am willing to provide to you, as well as other benefits, which include relocating to the church because we need you on site in the event of an emergency.
Oh, Father. I was starting to think that you were a zombie when you called me a heretic, but this is a very, very... Hello. Father, I have suffered from an attack of blindness. The talk of the zombettes has taken over my mind temporarily, and I'm back. Okay, sorry.
Are you okay? Are you okay?
I thought my head was falling off, but I'm all right. Okay. What I just wanted to say was that this is a very Christian amount of money that you are willing to pay me, a very holy amount of money. So I think maybe there's hope for you. Maybe when all this is over, you could join us. You could join the Preferred and become one of us.
Well, my devotion to the Catholic faith and the Lord is unshakable. So I don't think
the ladies will really love you. We have a lot of very beautiful ladies in the Preferred.
Well, I certainly don't want to rule out speaking engagements of some sort, or some sort of partnership. I'm sure we could pursue. I'm certainly open to that.
Sure, speaking engagements.
Yes, of course. And if any sort of private consultations are needed by your members, we can certainly look into that as well.
Okay, so I just want to warn you that for this exorcism that you want to perform, make sure you never meet her eyeballs, because her zombie demon could exit her body through the eyeballs and go through your eyeballs. into
Oh,
your
well,
brain.
we certainly don't want that. And I mean, you bring
No.
up a good point, actually, because one thing that concerns me is that once the demon is expunged, where will it go? Could we relocate it somewhere, perhaps, to
Oh, yeah. Do you have a flock of pigs?
I could get some.
Yeah, get some pigs.
Uh-huh.
Jesus did that, and if it's good enough for the Lord Jesus Christ, it's good enough for me. Yeah, we'll cast the Zombat spirit into pigs. The one individual pig might not be big enough.
All right.
Well, great doing business with you, Doctor. I have to run, but
Thank you for
just let
coming
me know
by.
the date and time, and I will be there.
I will be in touch, and we will coordinate your relocation. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Bye for now. I'll see myself out.
Thank you. Yes, right the way you came. Yes. Oh. Well, I'm sure you heard all that.
Yes. Oh, yes, I heard. She's my kind of gal.
It doesn't surprise me. She is absolutely insane. She confessed to murdering in a job interview. What a mad woman.
Yeah,
Look,
she's so much saner than you. I
What?
mean, insaner. She's so much insaner than you.
Oh,
See,
yes.
to most, you're not. You're the picture of mental health, Father.
Look,
Picture of mental health.
Look, we have to use her. I have to use her to get rid of you. But once that is over, she knows too much. I mean, she can't know that I'm involved in this. So well, I guess I'll have to kill her too.
A good idea. Good idea. Maybe once I take over the teenage girl, she can help you. Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah. Could be.
Good job.
Good job.
I have to go to my meeting, but great job so far, everybody. Everybody's plays are great. See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Well done, Trisha. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Coming Out on a Limb by Nicholas Hart. Location, a living room with a sofa on one side and two chairs facing the sofa on the other side. Time is present. At Rise, Eric sits on the sofa in the living room, unable to get comfortable. He moves pillows and adjusts position several times. He takes out his phone and dials.
Hi, it's me. Not yet. I'm waiting for them to come downstairs and I have to do this. Okay, Philip, I don't need your coaching right now. I have to just nip this in the bud and tell them or I might never do it. Did they? Really? Well, I hope that happens for me. Okay. They're coming. Wish me luck. Thanks.
Eric
Bye.
hangs up, moves to try to get relaxed. Bob and Karen enter and sit on the chairs opposite the sofa. It looks like an interrogation.
So, Eric.
You wanted to talk to us? Here we are, dear.
I'm a little nervous.
Christ almighty.
Now, Bob, anger's only going to make it harder for him.
Tell us whatever you want, son. We're okay with it.
No judgment. Fine.
No judgment.
Okay, here it goes.
Whatever you feel on the inside is absolutely fine, okay?
And I won't make any more jokes about, you know.
I actually called Philip before you came in.
Is he your special friend?
My best friend, yeah. His parents were totally fine after he told them, but I don't know.
Eric, anything you tell us is totally acceptable. Right, Bob?
As I already said.
Eric walks around the room and sits down again.
This all happened last summer, and I wasn't expecting it. I mean, I tried to fight against it at first, but Philip pushed until I couldn't deny it anymore.
If Philip forced you, that's a felony. We can sue.
No, Dad. I was complicit. There's no ignoring what I am, what we both are.
We love you, Eric. We do.
Just say it quick and get it over.
Philip and I are flat earthers.
Bob and Karen's mouths drop.
I shouldn't have told you.
You're not Gay?
We thought you and Philip were homos.
Where'd you get that? We were on a group hike last summer and started investigating flat Earth on a dare. One thing led to another, and now I believe we live on a flat, motionless plane.
Did you say a flat earther?
Surprise!
You don't believe in science?
That's where you're wrong. Science is not a belief, it's a way of thinking.
So you invented a new way of thinking. What about space?
There is no space or planets or galaxies.
Oh my God. Oh. I mean, what did we do wrong? Huh?
It's not our fault, Karen. Look what you've done.
It wasn't easy for me to tell you.
Well, thanks for your candor, but I cannot tolerate having a flat earther for a son.
Why in God's name?
I'm sorry.
I mean, I thought you were going to tell us that you were like queer or a drug dealer, something we could handle.
Worst case, I thought he killed someone. We could have helped with the body, but not this.
How did we fail to teach him basic science?
It's those YouTube videos. They need to ban them along with TikTok and guns not used for hunting.
I mean, do you hate us? Answer me!
No, I don't hate you. I can't explain it in a paragraph. There's so much. You have to see it for yourself.
How much did Philip help you? He twist your arm, yeah?
Did he suck you in like a black hole?
There are no black holes, Dad.
Oh, right. You don't believe in them either.
He got into it first, but it's amazing, really amazing. The sun and moon are the same size and move around us like a child's mobile. An ice wall keeps the oceans in, and a dome covers the earth, like the firmament in the Bible.
The Bible is religious dogma, Eric.
The sun is 93 million miles away, and the moon is like 238,000 miles.
And most stars are billions of light years. Come on, buddy, you know this.
You can still change your mind.
It's who I am now.
If he believes this, he probably thinks evolution is a crock of shit.
Don't you dare disrespect Darwin.
There's this doctor who might be able to help us.
That's good, Bob. Come on, let's call him right away. Go on.
I don't need a doctor. Nothing's wrong with me. I have simply discovered a hidden truth.
No, you haven't. Go to your room.
I don't live here anymore.
Go upstairs, move the junk off of your bed, and lie down.
I can't believe this.
I have a flat earth for a son. Oh my God. Oh my God.
You have to understand, we never expected something.
What happened to no judgment? It's totally fine.
Oh, this is not the same as being gay and transgender or non-binary. You have gone way past the fucking rainbow.
He probably thinks that rainbows are fake too.
Oh my God, no.
If you'd said you wanted money for sexual reassignment surgery, I'd have gladly paid for it. But this is unnatural.
I wish I never told you.
I'm lightheaded. I need a Xanax.
I'll get you one in a minute, dear.
Thank you. Oh my God.
Bob dials the phone.
Hi. Yeah, I'm looking for Dr. Peter Lingus.
Yeah.
Do you know when he'll be back? Okay. Yes, I understand it. No, don't bother. Thank you.
Well, what did they say? Huh?
Lingus is with a patient who's on a voyage to Arcturus.
At least Eric isn't one of those. I mean,
Lucky us.
God.
Ask yourself, what changes in your life if the earth is flat? Absolutely nothing. The shape of the earth doesn't matter except for our perception. You either think we're these insignificant specks of dust in a vast accidental universe, or that we're the center of all creation.
We're worthless, evolved apes without purpose.
No, Mom, we're the center of the universe. We have purpose and we're all connected. They don't want us to know.
I can't listen to this. I'm getting a drink.
Bob exits.
Mom, Please don't shut me out. I need your help. I don't want to be a pariah.
You thought about that before you decided to be like this. I'm sorry, Eric, but I thought I could be strong for you, but I can't. You're on your own.
Karen exits. Eric dials his phone.
It didn't go well. I'm on my own. You want to start a commune? I was thinking East Village. That would be wonderful. The 5 of us could be the FE coalition. Yeah. We could do pride marches and hand out flyers. They're coming. Gotta go.
He hangs up. Bob and Karen enter and stand resolute as Karen wipes her eyes.
Your mother and I have decided that until you reconsider your position on the shape of the earth, we'll have to disown you.
What?
For your own good. We cannot have you going round spreading mammoth lies. It's embarrassing.
The ribbing I'd get at work for having a flat earth son would be merciless.
You don't know what it's like for a university professor.
I don't really care.
That's quite obvious. We wish you well, but we will have no further contact until you return to globe consensus.
It's who I am now, Dad.
No, it's not. Stop saying that.
Karen, it's his choice.
No.
Philip is this modern day Jim Jones, and Eric wants to guzzle the Kool-Aid. So, who else even believes this nonsense aside from you and Phil?
The Freemasons, but they're sworn to secrecy.
The Freemasons. Of course.
We're actually going to live together with the 3 other flat earthers in the East Village.
You'll be living in the dark ages as science deniers.
Look, Eric, I experimented when I was younger too. I mean, I had a fling with my college roommate, in fact.
You did?
Oh, we just fooling around one night and it just happened. Anyway, look, the point is that I grew out of it and I got married to your father.
Girl on girl stuff kind of turns me on.
I don't want to hear about that.
Look, I know it's uncomfortable to imagine parents having sex, but we all did, or you wouldn't be here.
Look, if you won't accept me for who I am, oh, never mind.
Eric exits. Karen sits on the sofa and breaks down.
How could you do this to us?
Gravity. You can't deny gravity.
I mean, we told them about the Coriolis effect, Foucault's pendulum, GPS satellite. I mean, the moon landings, for Christ's sake. And neutrinos. I mean, doesn't he remember anything?
I'm afraid there's nothing we can do.
What about that doctor? Can he help?
Specializes in alien abductions and harvestings only.
Oh, I wish he was abducted by aliens. Then he wouldn't be a flat earther. Is there no hope?
I hate to say, once you go flat, there's no going back.
Oh my God, everybody's going to make fun of him. They're going to call him a flat tard. We'll have a hard life. Oh my God, he's going to have such a hard life, poor baby.
Why couldn't he simply be gay?
Maybe living in the East Village will help. I mean, after all, it's close to the West Village.
Hold that thought, Karen. Hold that thought.
You know, this reminds me of that time your brother announced that he was a Satanist.
What about your cousin Thelma, the Trump supporter?
Oh my God, we both failed. Genetically.
Nothing we can do about that. Do you want to pray?
Yes. God, make Eric great again.
Maybe we need Satan too.
Karen nods. They bow their heads and hold hands.
Oh, Satan, ruler of evil and lord of the underworld, please make our son gay, transgender, or non-binary. Your choice.
Bob looks at Karen.
What is it?
Think you could get in touch with that old roommate?
Della, female, sits at a table eating breakfast. She takes a bite, closes her eyes, smiles, and emits a low humming sound. Eagerly takes another bite. Across from Della sits Eric, male. He's resting his cheek against one hand as he stirs a cup of coffee with a spoon from his other hand. Della lays her fork down and lifts up her coffee and takes a sip. As she sips the coffee, her eyes widen and looks directly at Eric. She lowers her eyes, sits down to coffee, smiles, picks up her fork and takes another bite, still smiling. Eric stops his stirring, drops the spoon to the table, sits back in his chair and crosses his arms, staring back at Della. Della finishes her bite, looks over to Eric. She picks up a knife, butters a piece of toast, looks directly at Eric. She crunches on the toast. She places the remaining piece of toast down, picks up her coffee, takes another sip. Eric uncrosses his arms, slaps one hand on his leg, looks away from Della as he presses both fists into his hip. Della sits her coffee down, picks up her fork, and reaches over with it to Eric's plate. She picks up a piece of egg from Eric's plate and eats it. She emits a low hum as she chews the egg.
That is really good. Why are you eating?
Eric looks over to Della. He reaches for his coffee, but does not pick it up. He slips back in his chair.
Something wrong with the coffee?
You're not telling me everything.
I'm not.
You are most definitely not.
If that was true, then how could you possibly know that I haven't told you everything?
Eric picks up his fork, reaches for his food, then flops the fork back down.
That doesn't make any sense.
Della picks up her coffee.
It doesn't?
Della takes a sip.
The food comes and you just stop talking.
And that doesn't make sense to you?
No, it doesn't.
I don't know about you, but usually when food comes, I eat it.
You're saying scrambled eggs is more important than our conversation.
Omelette.
What?
It's not scrambled egg. It's an omelette. Maria special.
That doesn't make a difference.
Of course it does.
How? How does that make a difference? It's just eggs.
When it's in a shell, it's just an egg. When it's a Maria omelette, it makes a difference.
You're just avoiding the issue.
Have you ever had the Maria special omelette?
No, I prefer the Benedict.
Benedict's good, but you should at least try the omelette.
Della slides her plate over to Eric.
Avoidance.
Try it.
Della takes a piece of the omelet and holds it up to Eric. Eric accepts the bite, closes his eyes, and lightly hums. He nods his head and opens his eyes.
Mm.
Well?
That's good. Really good.
Better than the Benedict?
Just about. I mean, the Benedict is good, but there's something.
Eric reaches for more of the omelet and takes another bite.
Different.
Yes, and it's mine.
Della slides her plate back to her side. Eric holds his fork in the air.
Do you like the Benedict?
It's quite good, but I prefer the omelette.
How about splitting?
Half and half?
Sure.
All right.
Eric slides his plate over to Della. Della puts her half of her omelet on Eric's plate and takes half his Benedict. Then slides Eric's plate back to him. Eric takes a sip of coffee and frowns.
What's wrong?
It's cold.
Because you waited too long.
Yeah.
Eric stands up.
I'm getting it refreshed. And when I get back, there had better be the same amount of omelette on my plate as there is now.
What? Don't you trust me?
Eric stands for a moment, looks away from Della, then looks back down at her.
It'll be a test.
As I said before, you have nothing to worry about.
We'll see.
Eric walks away. Della looks over her shoulder as Eric walks away. She picks up her fork, reaches over to Eric's plate. She smiles, then withdraws her fork and takes another bite from her plate.
I just ate a great big thing of butter. Oh, sort of bread.
Couldn't help but notice there was a lot more pieces tonight than there were on the list that you put out on
Yes,
Facebook.
that's because there was a lot of arrangements trying to be made. And
I kind of waited. It was kind of took me a while to get it together because a week ago I had a molar pulled and it just had a bigger effect on me than I thought it would. And my brain was kind of turned to mush. That's why we
Right,
decided
and-
to improvise this, because I just wasn't in a shape to write the scene out. But
And the improvisation took too long.
so our first one was It's Raining Cucumbers.
It's funny. I loved it.
That was a fun scene.
Yeah. It's really
Yeah.
good. Well
Yeah.
done.
Well done, Maggie. Well done.
Oh, thank you.
I like the title as well. Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, thank you.
I liked showing that it showed like real love, not in a toxic way. I mean, they weren't perfect. It's not like they were perfect people, but you know, it's a lot of people just in general these days, and not even just these days. A lot of people in general write about toxic relationships and stuff. And sometimes it's nice to see something, you know, that's not toxic and that's just sweet and supportive and loving. It's a nice balance.
Yes, the
Not
lines
toxic
about
is so unusual these days, right?
Yeah.
yeah, those lines about you're yelling, I'm not yelling, reminded me of my parents when they used to argue. They'd argue over the stupidest things, and one would be my mother would say, "You're yelling." My father would say, "I'm not yelling." He'd start yelling.
Yeah.
It was very funny. It brought back memories. Well done.
Oh, thank you.
And the fear of cucumbers, huh?
Yeah.
It's very Freudian.
Here, I thought he might be a cat.
Okay.
Cats mostly have a fear of cucumbers.
The second one was Rex McGregor's Thrill of the Circus.
Yeah, I'm sorry I double booked for that one. I saw that one and it's like, wow, that one was a nice one too.
It's all right, it all worked out.
Yeah.
Thank you, Henry, for stepping in.
Yeah, no, it's really good.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Henry
enjoyed that.
stepping in,
Yeah.
doing that. It's wonderful.
Like typecast. Well done, Henry. It was just
As the
dress,
inspector.
dress
Yeah.
up, and it's very
Although
funny.
For Rex, I wrote down the line jump through hoops, and I was waiting for the circus punchline. You know, don't they jump through hoops in the circus? You know, I was waiting for someone. Well, don't you do that anyway, or something like that? I was surprised.
Only flaming hoops, right?
Yeah.
Is that the first time this one's been presented, Rex?
It hasn't been performed on stage, but it's had several readings. In fact, the other one was just a couple of hours ago in the UK. I had to get up early. It's only just after 11 a.m. here, but I got up at 6 a.m. to go to the UK for a reading. And tomorrow morning I'm getting up early again to join Chet Tasman for another UK reading.
Oh, yes. That should be fun.
So Tasman will be up late also, correct?
Well, I am up late right now.
Yes.
And I have good practice.
Yes.
What time is it there?
It's 10 past midnight.
Oh.
Whoa.
I was going to say, I couldn't
But it's
remember if
not
you were
too
in there.
bad.
Yeah.
It's not too bad.
California, it's 4:09. Well, I guess 4:10, but 4:09 or 4:10 in the afternoon on Sunday.
Yeah.
Now, are you in Monday?
I am
Or-
in Monday now.
Okay.
And I'm well in Monday.
Yes, you are. I was about to say, but Rex has beaten me because you're well in Monday.
So what time is it for Rex?
It's just coming up to 11 a.m. Monday morning.
Wow.
Okay. And you're in New Zealand, or?
That's right, yeah.
Are you in Auckland? I think I told you last.
Yes.
My husband's from Auckland. He's a New Zealander. Yeah. You are whereabouts in Auckland? Are you from?
Right in the central city,
Okay.
Hobson Street.
Oh, I'll have to tell them. Okay.
This, I think this disproves all the last script's theory.
Yes.
How, the planet
What?
can't be the planet can't be flat if everyone's time is different.
That's right. That's right. They've got no explanation for that. In fact,
No,
for the
that's
flat
just
Earth
what
one,
that's just what they want you to believe, Corey.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
It's all part of the ruse. Yeah.
Yes.
yeah, I actually saw a documentary where they took some flat earthers and they tested their beliefs by getting people to sail in a boat over the horizon. And then actually, as they saw the boat descending over the horizon, they could see the mast and the sails, but they couldn't see the boat itself. And then they realized, oh, the earth must be curved. It was amazing.
Isn't that how Columbus proved that they could sail further out?
Oh, no, no. In Columbus's day, all the sailors knew that the world was round.
Okay.
That
Yeah,
day,
that was
the ancient Greeks knew. The ancient Greeks knew. They proved it.
That was something that we were taught when we were kids.
Right.
Was that there were a few forward thinkers like Columbus who thought, I think the earth is round, whereas almost everybody else thought the earth was flat, and now that's been proven not to be true. But that is what we were taught in school, like
Exactly.
a solid fact.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
They lied.
That's why
Greeks
that's
were
why we
amazing.
thought that that's why Columbus was held up as being so brave. That, in order to get the Indian spices to help Europe preserve their meats and all that, he took this massive risk when everybody else thought the earth was flat. And, that all turned out to be a load of horse swallow, but yeah, that's what we thought.
I heard recently that a bunch of navigators said the real fear was that he didn't have enough supplies to make it all the way to Asia. And he was going to die out there and starve to death from lack of fresh water and the rest in the Atlantic.
And that almost happened.
Yeah.
They were on the verge of a mutiny. At least that's what I was taught. But then who knows if anything I was taught was true. So.
They just lied to us in elementary school. That's all.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm sure the teachers that we had in elementary school thought it was true. I don't know who came up with the lies, but I think I would bet you the people who taught me were taught the same crap that I was and you were.
Just passed it down.
I mean, my kindergarten teacher was teaching us that stuff. My kindergarten teacher was pretty much adult. I mean, I know from my mother talking to me about her later, she was really a dim-witted woman in many ways. I just don't think she could have just been crafty enough to come up with a clever lie. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, we're getting off on a tangent.
All right. We could go on to the job interview then, Tasman.
Well done, Chuck, and well done, Carol.
Thank you.
You
Thank
were
you, Carol.
brilliant. Yeah, you were great.
Hey, so I have a question about that. Carol's character, was she deliberately trying to prevent that job interview from happening so that maybe she had her own agenda, like there was somebody else she wanted to get the role? Or
When we were in the breakout room, I think Carol pointed out that she's probably someone who does not like her job, therefore she does not care. So she is going to be the least helpful. There's a line in there, she says, "You're making me late for my coffee break." She just doesn't care.
But that's exactly what I thought too. I thought maybe the person in the interview was maybe like her brother, and she was keeping everybody else out.
Oh, I didn't go that deep.
she seemed to be working. She seemed to be working really hard at not letting it. She started to give him the information he needed after it was too late. It seemed very calculated. So
I think she was, I mean, the way in which Carol played it, you were being so pedantically accurate and ignorant at the same time. And I loved how Turner just wanted to attend his job interview. And she obviously took it to the point of where Turner doesn't get that job interview.
Right.
And I've come across, when I wrote this, I was thinking about those receptionists, those receptionists out there who are so unhelpful. And then I thought, okay, I'm going to write something. because there are people, you know, they just need a little bit of help at the help desk. You know, if you get something wrong, why can't you just correct it and say, oh, did you mean this? Because he says Anna Carton, and it's actually Anna Charlton. So why
Right,
couldn't
right,
she
right.
just correct that? Why couldn't she just correct that and help him along? So she was playing on his words. And I thought, wouldn't it be interesting and also quite amusing and maybe therapeutic to write about a receptionist who is just unhelpful? And I think that added to the comedic thread in there. And I love how at the end of it, obviously, instead of, you know, she's ushering him out and saying, there's a green button, press that and off you go. And he obviously made a point at the end of it. And then off
You
you
know, also like any good villain, she's not 100% wrong. You know, because if you have a like a villain who's just one dimensional and everything they do is wrong, it's not as interesting. She was right in a couple of respects. He wasn't well prepared, and that
No, he
didn't
wasn't.
bode well, you know. And so there were a couple of things there that showed him to be a little disorganized. And you know, the first impression you make is very important. So the fact that she had a little bit of a point there kind of made her like slightly more complex and even more evil somehow. She wasn't
She
just a
had the
cookie cutter,
power,
you
the
know.
balance of
And it's
power.
like she almost like that's like that gave her like the tiny little excuse to be that way. Oh, you're imperfect. That shows you're not that great a candidate. I don't have to be bothered. It's you know, so I really liked that part of it.
Yeah, that's a good observation. And I think it was just such a simple scene. He just wants his interview and she won't let him, and then that's it.
Yep.
And I think, yeah, it worked quite well, and the dialogue flowed quite well. And I love, yeah, the ending. I mean, I know I wrote it, but the ending was cool, where I don't think I'd ever do that. Oh, this is what I said to Chuck as well. I would never do that. Put my finger up at anyone. I just wouldn't do that. But I got to do it in this
It was
scene.
just acting, just acting.
I know. But in real life, I just don't do that. And it was great. I had the opportunity to do it through Turner's character.
That's so much of what writing is for.
Yes, quite. So many little things that I just cannot do. You kind of think, oh, that person has got guts. I haven't got any guts. I can't do
It
it.
helps the writer and it helps the audience.
Well, I'm glad it entertained you, and I'm so pleased that Carol and Chuck brought them to life. You were fabulous. And
Thank you.
so much.
Agreed.
So the next chapter in the Possessor.
Yep.
And that
I think that was a bit of a bold move.
Rex, did you have
Improvisation.
Yeah, that's hard.
Rex,
And you
did you
did
have
great. Oh
something?
my goodness. Wow. To do
Yeah,
it.
and it worked out really well, and it was a happy accident because I just wasn't up to. I had started writing the script, and I couldn't organize my brain that way after getting the Mueller out. I was just,
Kudos to Corey agreeing to
yeah.
it.
But
Yes.
Corey and I have done improv together before, so I knew he could do it.
Okay.
And so I gave him some guideline, gave him kind of like a storyline and all, and you know, and then we just basically ran with it and just made up our own dialogue, you know, and yeah, and I knew he could since we were in an improv group together for years, so.
It shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the experience that you both have really did come across, because there was a fluency to it
Absolutely.
that was really, really gripping. So
Yes.
I commend both of you for that.
Yeah.
Thank
Scary
you.
stuff.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, and yeah, I wasn't except for maybe except for the use of actual hot pepper juice. I wasn't exaggerating. And so
Right.
I don't know how many of you have read about Ruby Franke and Lori Daybell. But I wasn't exaggerating about what Ruby Franke did to her kids. And Ruby Franke, you know, believed her children were evil sex offenders from the age of 3.
Wow.
And, you know, and was convinced by this twisted pseudo cult leader therapist to torture her children and deprive them of food. And that thing about the ropes cutting through the bone is real. The stress positions and putting them in strict bondage, real. And then Lori Daybell actually killed her children because she was convinced they were inhibited by level 6 demons. So, or she didn't kill them, she had other people kill them. But anyway, both of them were in these breakaway they had been Mormons and they were part of these breakaway groups. And one of them, I think it was Lori Daybell, did believe that when Jesus came, her group was going to be like among his most chosen, and they were going to be enforcing whatever he wanted to enforce and all that. So as insane as all that seemed, I was not exaggerating.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's what makes that real life more scarier than fiction.
I know it really is. I'm like,
Yeah.
Now, is that just your kind of typical reading, or were you actually doing research for the script?
No, I watched true crime, and also I already knew a little bit about Ruby Franke because I'd come across exposés online about how awful her parenting and family vlogging was, and this was, you know, a few years before she did what she did. So I already kind of had a negative opinion of her. And as far as, but Lori Daybell, I didn't know about until I was coming across true crime, and then they were put on trial and all that. So, you know, so sometimes I find true crime relaxing, you know, if it's told in a nice quiet voice, and it's almost like stories, you know, like storytelling, you know,
Like ghost stories.
like almost like ghost stories. Yeah, it's almost like that, you know. And you but these then were not, these actually horrified me, and they were contemporary to going on right now. And so I was reading a lot about Lori Daybell and a lot about Ruby Franke, because this is going, and they're not the only ones. There's others doing this stuff. And so finding out that this was going on right around that time, the new Exorcist movie was coming out about teenage girls being possessed by the devil and somebody having to put them through hell in order to try to expunge the demons. And one of the girls gets killed, but the Exorcist is a hero. And I thought it was really offensive to me that this was coming out when people who really believe this stuff are torturing children, killing children for real. And so that's why I've been working on this script, you know, so
Blimey.
to show
I'm so
who the real
glad.
bad ones are and who the real
I'm
bad
so
ones are.
glad you're reading and watching all of this. I haven't got the stomach to do
I
that.
haven't, no.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And I wouldn't know any of it without
Yeah.
obviously being a part
So
of this.
yeah, so it's just in. I just don't like making heroes out of these people. It'd be one thing if this was all a fairy story. This doesn't really happen, or maybe it happened in the Middle Ages. It doesn't anymore, and it's all fantasy horror. But it's actually pretty close to real life, and in an era where you got too many people who really think like this and are doing real harm, it really offended me, and that's why I'm doing this script. Yeah.
Yeah, well done for giving it a go and making
Thank
it so
you.
scary and creepy and improvisation. Hats off to you. I don't think I
Okay.
wouldn't know where to begin.
And I was smiling a lot because those two ladies, Lori Daybell and Ruby Franke, they're both beautiful bleach blonde women, and they both have big smiles, and they just smile like angels, you know.
Wow.
So that's why I was doing the big fake smile, because that's what they do. What makes them so
Love
creepy.
your blonde hair.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I've been lightening it.
So number 5, coming out on a limb, Mr. Nicholas Hart.
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
Well
This was
done.
an analogy to somebody coming out, and the idea behind it was to put you on the other side of this fence, because you're looking at this from the parent's perspective instead of looking at it from the kid's perspective. That was the purpose of this, and I think it succeeded, because I think you get the sense that the parents were angry for a real reason.
And
I was
the
laughing
build-up.
so hard.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, I said I was laughing so hard.
Oh, great! I didn't hear you. I wish you put your sound.
It was so fun, the build up to it, and I thought, no, there's got to be something more than that, because the build up to it, and I was thinking there, okay, so he's probably going to say that he is gay, maybe moving out, maybe he dislikes his parents, something like that. And I thought, no, let's see where it leads up to. And then the moment he said what he did, I was like, oh my God, this is so funny. I wouldn't have even thought of that. So that was, yeah, well done. That was a
Yes.
nice surprise.
Yeah, it was an
Parents-
honor to do it and be
The parents were great. You,
and
you
to
two
be,
were
to be
hilarious.
outrageous.
Yes.
You wanted it dramatic, so
You wanted it as,
Yes.
as dramatic, as angry, and as frustrated, and as anxious as possible. Because
It worked.
It did.
the conflict there would be so much more
It
funny, I
did.
thought.
And
Yeah.
and I loved how the parent said, you know, prepping beforehand, we're not going to judge you, whatever it is, we're
Yeah.
going to support you. And then
Right.
it turns on its head.
I love the husband saying, even if you kill someone, we'll help you hide the body.
But yes, yes, that line
That
was
was
good.
hilarious.
I
What's
like
wrong
that.
with these people? It's just
And then he wants to contact the ex-roommate at the end.
Yeah.
Well, he likes he loves girl on girl.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I liked Rachel sobbing personally. That was just too much.
Rachel was brilliant. Well done, Rachel. You were both great.
you wanted
Yes.
to go over the top, as you kept saying, as much as you want. And I love doing over the top. Henry
did.
probably knows he's seen me do over the top. So,
You did over the top well. Thank you.
well,
Yes.
thank you. No, thank you. It was an honor to be in it. It's really
Yeah.
good. Yeah, thank you.
I was wondering along the way if actually it was a ruse by him, so that at the end he said, well, actually, it's not that. It's one of the other things that you said you were perfectly happy with. And so,
Oh, okay.
Mm.
I did kill somebody.
Interesting.
Well, he could have said both. Yes, I'm a flat earther and I am gay. So
And I
Yeah.
killed someone. Yeah, no, that's an idea.
No, but it works well as it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Because nobody would expect him to say that. Well, I didn't think so. Anyway,
yeah.
to just suddenly come out
He
with
is
that.
bad as a cattle rancher's son coming and telling them that he's become vegetarian.
Yeah.
I've done that. I've got a play about that, Henry. Stephen.
They excommunicated you, right?
So our last one was what wasn't said.
You'll play.
Yeah. Someday I'm going to reveal all of the messages going back and forth between four people trying to figure out what play they were going to do this month. It's a story in itself.
Oh, lovely. No, it was a really nice, sweet little piece.
Yes.
Well acted.
Yes, quite. Because I mean, I'm not an actor, and even if I were, I would be a bad actor. But to be munching away on something and remembering your lines, I think that's really difficult.
But
But
they're
maybe that's
reading
just
the
me.
lines.
Well, we were reading, but yeah. Thank you.
It's like patting your head and rubbing your belly at the same
I
time.
know, right? Yeah.
I like the fact that it left us, well, what was unsaid?
Right.
Yeah.
All of a sudden he enjoys the meal, he's gonna get more coffee, and it leaves us in suspense, like, what's the next part? Part two.
Right. And
Very well done.
I when I was writing this, I kind of wanted to write a script that didn't rely so much on what was spoken between the two people. And why there's almost like a whole page where it's no dialogue. It's just them across the table from each other reacting to what we didn't hear or see. And so to me, it didn't matter what was causing the issue in the first place, because they're couples. There's an issue.
I like the opening. Henry just sitting there, and she's talking away, and he's just, well, we're gonna get to it.
Yeah.
There's something brewing. It was great.
Yeah.
well, we had a big discussions about what wasn't said, and we were trying it in different sort of ways. Whether Rachel was deliberately doing this in order to not talk about what
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 happened before, yeah.
Yes.
And I was talking about your writing and saying that, yeah, I didn't, the way you write, I don't think that you did have anything necessarily in mind at all. This is just a moment of interaction between two people in that way. And there's a lot of plays that you've done which I really love, which like that. That it's a very gentle moment, and there's just a moment where it turns, and you just see how things change, and I think it's just beautiful the way that
Yeah,
happens.
I agree with that. Yeah, yeah.
And then people can think what they want to think. Oh, wonder what they just did before. What did they say? You can think what you want, can't you? Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of the writing. Yeah,
It was
definitely.
fun to do, Stephen. Thank you.
Yeah, well done, Stephen.
I'm glad that you've chose this one to do. Yeah, I couldn't remember if I had actually, if it had actually been performed through LA Play Reading or not. I couldn't remember.
I don't remember this being done, but
It might have been with the Philadelphia reading group that I submitted to a couple of times. That might have been why it kind of stuck in my mind. So I'm glad it was at least new to everybody. Well, that being said, we got to get out of here for Carol before her meeting starts. So our next one is June 23rd, looks like.
Oh, good, can make it.
June 23rd.
Okay, June 23rd it is.
And my play is already cast.
Tell us who you've nabbed already, Stephen.
Mark Jeffrey and Michelle Lilly.
Yeah, I'm already cast too for June.
And who have you got, Tasman?
Paul and Susan.
I think I'm already cast as well. I tried to do that this time as well because I wanted to nip that in the
Who have you
bud.
got, Nick?
So
Just
I want to confirm that they're going to say yes because they think they were okay. Carol and Rachel.
Okay, great.
Okay, because it's just those two in the piece.
Great.
And Carol read it before, so she knows what it is.
Okay. Oh, forward to it.
there was one little thing I just wanted to say about Tasman's play, that I had a completely opposite thing happened when I phoned somebody. I had to phone somebody in Ireland and asked for somebody I needed to talk to. And the person on the desk said, "Oh, we don't have anybody by that name." And I said, "Well, he's an American." And she said, "Ah, well, we do have an American by this name. Will he do?"
We're all interchangeable.
Oh gosh.
Those bloody Americans.
Yeah.
But it was kind of the opposite of what Tasman was writing about. So keen to be able to help.
Maybe they were thinking it was the same guy who just went by a different name or a middle name or something. They just wanted to, just check. Wasn't a look under every stone, leave no stone.
Yeah.
But it was.
I wanted to mention how I thought it was so interesting where you have this son who's a flat earther, has a completely different accent than his parents.
I know we were trying to.
It's almost like it's almost like he became a flat earther and he became Celtic, and that somehow that all went together, and
Well, they say the Celts are a little.
We lived in Ireland. We were living in Ireland.
Oh, okay.
I'm half Irish. I should have tried Northern, but I didn't want to try.
Well, ironically, I'm actually British by birth, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I have relatives all over the UK.
Oh, wow.
So that's just So it was just interesting. It added to the separation of how different he'd become from his parents.
All different.
It wasn't intentional. It was just.
I thought it was interesting the way that Bob was dressed, that he could have been a person who would be willing to hide somebody's body.
Yeah.
Under his hat.
That was good. That was
I was asked to be like a 50-year-old redneck, and I thought this was perfect.
Well, you were so great too. It was
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
What, it was so much fun. All of
I
you.
like the beginning
Both of
too, where
you.
you're like sort of rolling your eyes, like, your wife's saying, "Don't judge now," and you're like, "Okay."
Yeah.
Yeah, you were so much
I have
fun.
to go, everybody. It was really great day.
Lovely
Thank
to
you so
see
much.
you. Yes.
Take care, Mary.
Thank
Have a
you.
wonderful
Bye-bye.
morning,
If
afternoon,
anybody's
evening.
interested,
Right,
Carol,
everybody's a different time zone. It's so bizarre.
Carol,
Like,
do you
you
want
have
to
to.
announce your group?
See you on the 23rd.
Carol, do you want to announce your group?
Oh,
Why, of course. So every Sunday, after this is over, except we're every Sunday from 8 to 10 Eastern time, we have a group called the Actors Free Co-op, and it's a very informal drop-in group for actors and writers too, who want to just practice. Like maybe they have an audition coming up, they're working on a play, working on a film, need to get better with some commercial copy or something. So you can bring in your work and just run it through the group for feedback or even just to do it. And writers can bring their things too for us to just, play around and read. So they can, hear what their stuff sounds like if they're working on something. And also just chit chat about the business. And anyone can come.
sounds
And
good.
if you
Great.
want, I can put the link in the chat.
No,
And this
do.
will be
Yes.
perfect for Rex and Tasman because they never sleep.
This is not
I-
my face.
I have to go to work shortly. It's the
Oh,
reason.
no? Yeah. Oh. But you're well, yeah, you're 16 hours ahead from, well, I'm Central Time. Yeah, in America, but yeah.
Oh,
Think,
I
is
didn't know
right?
that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm in Houston.
Oh,
right near
interesting. I didn't know where you were from.
Yeah, no, I'm from Manchester in England, but originally, but yeah.
No, of course, but I'm actually in New York.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
it's 7 o'clock. Actually, it's 7:30 now. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in Maryland.
What time is it
Well,
in Maryland?
Really?
Same time, right?
7:37.
So,
That's what I thought.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
so for Bob, I have a play opening in July in Gainesboro, Maryland. And for Nicholas, I have a play opening on August 10th on 115th Street in Manhattan.
When in July?
I'd have to go back and look. I'm going down on the 14th.
The reason I ask is because I have a pre-surgery prep on the 11th, and I have kidney stones being removed on the 27th.
Oh,
Good luck. Yeah, that's
I've done it before. Every 5 years or so, I get a stone that has to be removed. So
Wow.
this
Oh,
case,
wow.
it's about the size of an M&M, and the soonest they can fit me in was the end of July. So I'm having to live
Oh,
with.
I wish you well, Bob.
get that done. Yes.
So they don't use the sonic wave to break those up and make
They do for some of them. It depends on the size. My stone is, being the size it is small enough that they'll actually do a small incision, like a centimeter, and then they go in with like a tube, a hose, or a straw, and then go through the tube with fiber optics and lasers, and they break it up and they suck the stone out, and then they have something which I call a gelatinous tampon. But they stuff that down the straw and they pull it out, and it blocks the hole, and gradually, as you heal, your body absorbs it. So it's an outpatient 3-hour surgery, outpatient. My son will take me home from the place, and I'll go to work the following morning.
Oh, good.
Wow.
Science has advanced a lot.
Yes.
for you. It must be painful. I'm sorry. Yeah.
It is, and it varies. When I'm sitting still, it's usually pretty good. If I'm walking around or doing stuff, it can get worse. I'm just not. I'm waiting for it to get worse and grow between now and July. So we'll see. So far it's no medication required. So
good.
Do you know what color the M&M shell
yeah.
is?
So if there's I'm sorry, what was that?
Do you know what color the M&M shell is?
Good question. Actually, mine are brick.
Okay, good.
They're calcium oxalate stones. Last one, with the worst one I had was one I had to pass, and it looked like a pretty much like a Cocoa Crispy. If you've ever seen Cocoa Krispies, that was about the right size and color.
Oh my god!
So you probably have a bag of these somewhere, right?
Actually, I have a
You
little
save them.
case. I have a little case with some of them.
Yeah.
One of them, that Rice Krispie, I actually was doing a show when I had to pass that. So I was backstage, hunched over a garbage can, and then I would have to come out. We were doing something April, a comedy, and I forget what the first word on it was. Enchanted April, and it was I was backstage. It was an interesting time. Let's say.
Yes.
Yeah.
An interesting time. Wow.
Good, you know,
Well, I guess.
compared to I'm 68, so I'm not that terribly old, but compared to people who have to deal with heart disease and cancer and strokes, if all I get is a kidney stone every 5 years, I'm considered it's blessing.
Yeah.
That is a good
Yes.
perspective.
Yeah, you don't look that. You don't look. I didn't think you guys. I thought you were younger than that.
Yeah, same.
You don't look that at all.
Yeah. I usually cast around, I try to cast at like 40, maybe 35, 40.
Yeah.